Welcome to the step 3 of the hero's way, and this is the step where we become the pathway. I will emphasize the process until here because it has been a path and now it starts becoming a way, the pathway. We already worked on the step 0, clearing, emptying ourselves, to the who is saying what we want. Who is the one wishing, who is the one driving and saying and acting. So this is the clearing until we arrive here, that usually is the step that the mind gets us stumbling many times and even bounce all the time in there. This is the step of the how. How will I do this? Yes, I want this, but how can this happen? And you know, the instant question is the how can this happen? Or how can I become that? And many of the dynamics of manifestation, and as we can see, the law of attraction and all the tools for manifestation get stuck in this and gets us out of this when we reverse the equation. It's like the equation of the ego, if we didn't clear it, we'll say, oh, when I have this that I supposedly want, or that's what the ego wants me to believe, I will be happy. So this is the equation. When I have, or if this happens, I will be happy. This is my how to be happy, successful, whatever. And we have to reverse that, and is the way we feel will bring that what I want. So it's because I'm feeling successful, because I'm feeling secure, I will have that work. Not because that job I will be secure and successful. Make sense? This is where the mind usually bounces. If we think that because of something exterior, when this happens, or all the imaginary internally will generate a how in me. So whatever we say we want, we have to check the alignment of how we are feeling, the way we feel and the way we are. It's not only a how, this is a work on the form and the feeling that will, as the quantum physics says, will generate a resonance field to attract that. Make sense? Also, as we are giving the approach of the gaming, in this book of the play in the Matrix, would be the step that we realize that sometimes we are very attached to something. Here's a graph of manifestation, and when we are very attached, it doesn't happen, or it's very, very complicated because we are attached or identified with certain person, do that, and this is the only way that the only how that this could happen. And that's why it doesn't happen, because we are not tuned into states. The state I want to feel now, and that's why we resound and we can shape the reality around us. That's the way of the hero, is this mastery declaration of our own reality. Being the magician, as Paris says, using magic in your favor and not in the service of the ego that got infiltrated before. So this way we change the subtle and the dense, that inversion of the thing, the dense, into the subtle way I feel. So we reverse that to have the real trust in our reality, the real trust in ourselves, the heroic trust that whatever we want, when it's our real self and we align our feelings, we align to what we say, feel, and do will happen. That's the heroic trust. We tuned into that as Neo when he has this realization in the Matrix that he knows he can go beyond the house, those rules that are internally, and bend that, because he can stop motion, change the reality that is even against his beliefs. So this is the last internal step. This is what we resolve internally. This is the last alignment that we have to prepare to land, to throw our arrow. And with this, when we have this resolve and we are not bouncing, as we said before, we are not bouncing in something chaotic inside of us, bouncing in some restriction on all the external limitations, we will realize that we have the magic, the universe, the manifestation power in us. So we have the embodiment, the impregnation of this heroic trust, because we pierce through that. Otherwise, if we just bounce, we thank it, because this makes us revise again and initiate again to see and assess what has been blocking this. And that's why we work later in the step 4, when we start checking with reality, having signals, signs. But that's tomorrow. Thanks, and see you tomorrow.